Hello everyone, and welcome back to Behind the Bulletin. Thank you for tuning in today. Because we have a story that completely took the internet by storm. What began as a simple airport appearance quickly spiraled into one of the most talked about moments of the week. Yes, Chaemin and Yoona turned heads with matching looks, and what happened next left fans in chaos. Why were they dressed in coordinated outfits? What unexpected moment unfolded right after they stepped out of the car? And how did this seemingly ordinary arrival turn the entire airport upside down? Stay with us, because this story is about to get a lot more intense. Let's dive in, right now. The morning at Incheon International Airport began like any other, crowded, noisy, filled with flashing cameras and rushing passengers. But at 8:42 a.m., a sudden shift rippled through the entire terminal. A whisper moved through the crowd, building into a buzzing tremor that electrified the air. They're here. Is that really them? No way, matching outfits. Within seconds, fans, reporters, and stunned travelers surged toward Gate B. There two figures emerged from a black van. The doors opened almost in slow motion, and the tension in the air tightened like a string about to snap. Chaemin stepped out first. Tall, calm, effortlessly charismatic. He wore an oversized ivory hoodie paired with loose beige slacks and clean white sneakers. A simple outfit, but it made him look annoyingly perfect. The kind of casual elegance that turned heads without him even trying. And then Yoona stepped out behind him. Her outfit? Most identical. An ivory knit top, a beige skirt, white sneakers. Even her soft ponytail matched the relaxed, stated vibe of his look. It wasn't just similar, it was coordinated to the point of being unmistakable. The airport erupted. Screams filled the air. Cameras clicked like machine gun fire. Reporters pushed to the front, tripping over equipment as they tried to capture the moment. Fans held up banners, phones trembling as they zoomed in on the impossible sight before them. Matching outfits. Are they filming something? Did they plan this together? What is going on? Security immediately scrambled, forming a protective wall around the two stars. But even they couldn't stop what was coming next. The moment Yoona stepped beside Chaemin, he instinctively moved his arm, subtle, almost imperceptible, shielding her from the surge of bodies pressing forward. It was quick, natural, and unmistakably protective. And it triggered an explosion of speculation. Chaos ignited. Reporters yelled over one another. Chaemin SSI. Did you coordinate outfits today? Yoona SSI. Are you two working together on a new project? Are you arriving together or separately? Please answer. Neither said a word. They simply walked, together, through the airport hall, side by side. Expressions calm but unreadable. That only made things worse. Every step increased the frenzy. Fan live streams spiked to hundreds of thousands of viewers. Twitter and Weibo crashed under the tsunami of posts. Brands began tagging both actors, hoping to capitalize on the unexpected synergy. Entire fandoms fell into meltdown. But what the public didn't know, what no camera could capture, was the tension simmering beneath their composed exterior. Because this was no coincidence. 40 minutes earlier, before the world even knew they were arriving, Chaemin and Yoona had been in a discreet VIP lounge, facing the fallout of a problem neither had expected. A problem that required them to walk out in matching outfits, to control a narrative they didn't even want in the first place. Yoona had been the first to break the silence. This is going to look insane, she muttered. At her reflection. People will think we planned this on purpose. Chaemin sighed. If we walk out separately, it will be worse. We'll be eaten alive either way. Then, he said calmly, we face it together. She looked at him, just for a moment, something complicated flickering through her eyes. And then they stepped out. Back in the present, as they crossed the terminal, things escalated even further. Reporters shouted the question that silenced the entire airport. Is it true the two of you were involved in last night's incident? The atmosphere froze. Chaemin halted. Yoona stiffened. Fans gasped. Security tensed. Cameras zoomed in violently. What incident? What happened last night? The rumor wave hit the airport like a tsunami. His eyes widened, just slightly, but Chaemin reacted first, turning sharply toward the reporter. Information is false, he said. Controlled but icy. Please refrain from spreading dangerous speculation. But that only made people hungrier. What really happened last night? Why were you seen leaving the same location? This relate to the production scandal. The scandal. The one no one was supposed to mention. The one that forced them into silence. Yoona's hand trembled at her side. Most invisible, except Chaemin saw it instantly. He leaned closer, whispering something only she could hear. Whatever he said steadied her. Because she exhaled slowly, eyes sharpening with resolve. They continued walking. The chaos behind them surged like a tidal wave. When they finally reached the departure gate and slipped into the restricted security area, the noise faded, but the consequences didn't. As the moment they disappeared behind the frosted glass doors, a breaking headline flashed across every major platform in Korea. Leaked footage, Chaemin and Yoona spotted its secret location hours before their matching airport arrival. Fans froze. Reporters panicked. Agencies went into crisis mode. The truth behind their matching looks was not fashion. Coincidence. Not even marketing. Something far bigger had happened. Something they could no longer hide. And the world was about to find out. Leaked footage dropped like a bomb. Recorded from a distant angle. Grainy but unmistakably real. The video showed Chaemin and Yoona stepping out of a dimly lit side entrance of an abandoned film studio at 11:38 p.m. the night before. Together. Hidden. Rushed. Chaemin held a backpack. Visibly shaken, was clutching a folder to her chest. Even without sound, it was dumbing. Internet detonated. What were they doing there? That studio has been shut down for months. Were they hiding something? Are they exposing something? Is this connected to the production controversy? Within minutes, multiple agencies, producers, and PR teams were summoned to emergency calls. The abandoned studio was tied to a scandal no one wanted resurfaced: financial mismanagement, mistreatment of staff, missing documents rumored to contain damning evidence. And Yoona had been clutching a folder. Now the world wanted answers. Inside the airport's private VIP room, temperature felt icy despite the heated conversation unfolding. Yoona paced back and forth, her steps sharp. Breathing uneven. It's out. Everything is out. The footage wasn't supposed to leak. Chaemin leaned against the wall. Expression calm but eyes calculating. We knew the risk. I didn't think it would spread this fast. He stepped forward. We can't panic now. She stopped. Once they figure out what was in that folder, they won't. Let her gaze steadily. Not unless we tell them. Yoona sank into a chair, covering her face with her hands. This is going to destroy us. No, he said firmly. What happened last night would have destroyed us. This, he motioned to the chaos exploding online, is a chance to take control. She looked at him, searching his face for any sign of doubt. She found none. He sat beside her. Do you trust me? Silence. A heartbeat. Then, yes. The decision was made. At 10:15 a.m., both agencies announced a joint emergency press conference. An unprecedented move that sent shockwaves through the industry. Reporters flooded the venue. Streams hit record-breaking numbers. Fans waited in anxious silence. When Chaemin and Yoona stepped onto the stage, the room fell completely still. Matching outfits again. For a fashion. For unity. Yoona spoke first, voice calm, steady, carrying the weight of a truth she could no longer hide. Last night, we discovered documents related to a serious issue involving people in high positions within the production industry. Tears rippled across the room. We found proof of mistreatment, financial manipulation, and unethical practices that affected staff and cast members on multiple projects. Reporters leaned forward, stunned. Chaemin continued. We went to the abandoned studio because the files were hidden there. We retrieved them. And today, he glanced at Yoona. Admitted them to the authorities. Chaos erupted. Shouting. Flashes. Shock. Yoona held up the folder, the same one from the leaked footage. This, she said, is the truth we couldn't ignore. The reason, Chaemin added. We appear together. Not romance. Not rumor. Not scandal. But courage. Yoona took a breath. We won't stand by while others suffer. And if revealing this costs us everything. He looked at Chaemin. Then so be it. He finished her sentence. We stand together. The room exploded into noise. Reporters shouted questions. Fans cried online. Industry insiders panicked. But Chaemin and Yoona simply bowed, stepped back, walked off stage side by side, calm, resolute, unshaken. They didn't look like two actors caught in scandal. They looked like two people who had chosen truth over safety. What happened next wasn't chaos. Change. Their story became the top headline worldwide. Authorities launched investigations. Producers publicly supported their bravery. And fans rallied behind them with overwhelming unity. By the time they reached their car outside the venue, the entire world had chosen a side. The side of truth. The side of courage. The side of Chaemin and Yoona. And as they closed the car door, Yoona whispered, "We did it." Chaemin replied softly, "We're just getting started." And what unfolded at the airport was far more than a fashion coincidence or a headline meant to spark gossip. It became the catalyst for a truth that had been buried for far too long. Chaemin and Yoona did not step into the spotlight seeking attention. They stepped forward because they refused to stay silent in the face of wrongdoing. Their matching outfits, accidental or not, symbolized something far greater: unity in a moment when the world demanded answers. And when the chaos finally broke open, it was honesty over fear, transparency over convenience, and courage over silence. Few people in their position would dare to do the same. Their bravery didn't just shock fans, it inspired them. Thank you for following this intense, unforgettable story with us. Here at Behind the Bulletin, we remain committed to revealing the moments that matter, stories that challenge assumptions, expose hidden truths, and us that even behind glamorous headlines, courage still exists. Your support drives us forward every single day. Stay curious. Stay fearless. And as always, thank you for watching.